The test gauge training stands were built for three reasons. One, to provide access to portable testing and repairing of backflow assemblies in a classroom atmosphere. Two, to provide backflow training in a will call counter environment. And three, to provide backflow training and demonstration at conferences. While all the training stands can work in all environments, it would be a good idea to be aware if training will be the main use. I would suggest our 3 and 4 foot wide models for those applications. The stand uses a shallow well water jet pump with a built-in pressure sensor to monitor pump turn on, pump turn off pressure, flow, and air accumulation in the impeller. A water holding tank is plumbed into the suction side with a check valve to limit back pressure and a strainer to filter debris. The discharge side has a 1-inch ball valve and separate 3/4 inch ball valve to allow for use with a domestic water supply if available or desired. The discharge line also has a T with a discharge pressure gauge and expansion tank to help regulate and stabilize pressure. The discharge water then goes to a hose manifold to provide pressure to 4 different backflow assemblies that will be located over the white drainage tray. The tray empties back into the water holding tank to start the cycle over. The stand will typically be shipped with the tray detached and the backflow assemblies disconnected. The white tray with the sink strainer will slide into the middle shelf. The water holding tank will have a tailpiece with a nut and washer that will attach to the bottom of the sink strainer. When the tray plumbing is connected, you can fill the water tank through the tray. I would use 4 gallons of water minimum before starting the pump. After water is in the tank, you will need to remove the black cap that has an O-ring on the pump suction line. To prime the pump, pour water into the opening until the water reaches the top. You can then put the O-ring and cap back on. Make sure all hose and manifold connections are tight. Be sure drain valves are turned off before turning on the pump. Make sure all 4 valves on the manifold are off and drain valves are closed. Plug the pump into a GFI. Turn the red toggle switch on the pump to on. The first few times can be tricky because the unit may sense air. If the pump shuts off, you can press the red pump control button on the sensor control unit. When the pump turns off, the discharge pressure gauge should read 70 psi. When the system is under pressure, you can take one of the stainless steel hoses that will supply the backflow assemblies and run water down the drain of the tray. This will help flush debris in the system and allow the system to cycle a couple of times to remove air. Remember, take it slow when opening valves. There is 70 psi in the system. The pump will stop running when you turn off all the manifold valves and the pump reaches its turn-off pressure. When the system is cycling well, you can add the backflow assemblies to the channel strut using the pipe clamps and blue threaded knobs. This may be difficult at first and may require another set of hands to complete. When the backflow assemblies are installed, you connect one hose from the 4-valve manifold to the supply side of each backflow assembly using the nipples, adapters, and clamps provided. You can then turn on each manifold valve to pressurize individual backflow assemblies. I would recommend removing all air through each backflow test cock before fully opening the backflow valves. Once pressurized, you can run water through the backflow assemblies into the tray using the nipples, plastic adapters, and clear hose. Run water through each backflow assembly until all air is removed.